Austria, land of beauty, culture, history, art, and far more, has not had the best of times recently. We have been plunged into a great war far more destructive than anyone could have ever imagined. The Russian offensive in December, our crippling economy, and our failed army are just some of the problems. How exactly did we enter this situation? And are we going to get out of this alive? We are about to find out. In 1815, Napoleon's wars had finally ended, with Austria's reputation heavily damaged. During the war, we were forced to dismantle the Holy Roman Empire and weaken our positions in Europe. But even after Napoleon's defeat, our problems did not end. In 1866, we were defeated in both Italy and Germany, leading to the creation of the two nations, further weakening our already dying empire. The next year, fearing the huge split between us and Hungary, we were forced to accept a compromise in which Hungary was given a lot of autonomy within the empire, making it even harder to keep the empire stable, as more groups of people believed that they could one day have autonomy as well. In 1878, we began occupying Bosnia, and in 1908 annexed it into the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This led to backlash from Serbia, who had many of its own people living in Bosnia, who were turning more and more radical by the day. One day, one of these radicals decided to strike the monarchy itself. The shot that was heard across the world. The heir to the Austrian throne. Dead. Right then and there. No one could have ever imagined that something could happen to the beloved Archduke. But here we are. Following the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, we sent a letter of demands to Serbia, which they refused. The mighty nation of Austria could not just let a little Serbia get away with something like this. And we announced that war would be declared on Serbia, and after we would win the war, we would cement our rule over the Balkans. But to our horror, Russia began mobilizing its forces in support of Serbia, Germany in support of us, and France in support of Russia. Not long after mobilization started across Europe, the war had begun. But Austria has a problem. We never expected the entire continent to be fighting. We only expected a war between us and Serbia. This led to the following conversation between the Emperor and the leader of the army that I totally didn't just make up right now. I love my grapes. Grapes are the best thing ever. I can't wait to win this war. As soon as we take over Serbia, we're gonna have so much money that we can afford so many more grapes. It'll be great. Grape. Yeah. Sir. Listen, we have a problem. What would be the problem? Well, see, here's the thing, Your Majesty. You know how we're at war with Serbia, right? Yeah, we're at war with Serbia. So what? Yeah, well, here's the thing. Russia joined the war. Did you know that? What? The Russians joined the war? That's gonna complicate some things. Well, I don't know, send more troops to the Russian front, make sure we don't lose any land, and just knock Serbia out of the war as fast as possible. Yeah, we have multiple problems. See, one of our generals kind of ran away and defected to the Russian side and gave away our plans to the Russians, and the Russians gave away our plans to the Serbians. So the Serbians have a foolproof defense against our attacks, and the Russians are currently attacking us, and we have absolutely no manpower, so we can't reinforce the line, and it's not looking good. Well, I don't know, man. You're the military guy. You're supposed to deal with this kind of stuff. How about this? Just knock Serbia out of the war as fast as possible. Divert everyone to the Russian front. I don't care how many people we lose. Get Serbia out of the war. You make sure we don't lose any land, okay? That's your one job. Yes, mein Kaiser. I'll do everything in my power to make sure Austria stays secure. Hello, mein Kaiser. It has been a while since we've last seen each other, so, yeah, I'm back. How long has it been? The last time I talked to you was 1914, right? Wow, it's already 1917. How time flies. Whoa! Who are you? I'm the Kaiser. No, you're not. The Kaiser had a beard. You have a mustache. What happened to the Kaiser? Oh, you're talking about that Kaiser? Oh yeah, he died. Oh. Well, well, I mean, I'm not really surprised. He was pretty old. That's kind of sad, actually. Well, I do have reports for you, my new Kaiser. Here, we got a paper. So, let me just show you the situation. As you may know, we are currently winning against Russia. The Russian army is in complete collapse. We have captured both Petrograd, Moscow, Kiev, just a bunch of major cities. Their army is completely destroyed, pretty much. But on the Western Front, it is a completely different story. We haven't moved at all in Italy ever since our first offensive, and the Germans haven't moved in France ever since 1914 when the war started. They took a staggering amount of territory. They took a whole one city from the French. One city in 3 years. Are you like, that's insane. One city. And that's not the bad news. The bad news is that the French and the Brits managed to reinforce Greece, which joined the war. I don't even know when that happened. They managed to join the war, pushed us out of Albania, and now they are threatening Austrian territory itself. So yeah, that we have to deal with that. But luckily, the French and Brits are going to accept a peace offer with us if we sign a separate peace with them. Basically, our goal is to rule the Balkans, not really rule Russia. So, the idea could be like this. We'll peace out with the Entente, we'll get our former Italian lands back, they would recognize our rule over the Balkans, and we betray the Germans. That sounds good, because our economy is not going well. See, on the map, everything looks great, right? We're winning, it's all good. But in reality, we are having so many food shortages, most of the army can't even afford itself like a piece of bread, not because they don't have money, it's because of the Entente blockade, which is not allowing us to import food, causing us to starve. Yeah, I do see the problem. I mean, yeah, we have to definitely negotiate with the Entente to get us out of the war. We've already gotten what we wanted, so there's no point in continuing this war. Yeah, though we do have a problem, though. The Germans are going to get very mad, and they might do something. No, the Germans won't do anything. They're stuck in France, like you said. So, if we just exit the war, what are they gonna do? Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, let's do this.
A few moments later.
Hey, so, they kind of said no. They said no? Yeah, I don't know why they said no. They were the ones who offered peace, and then, they're the ones who are saying no. That's stupid. Yeah, it is stupid. I don't know why they refused what they wanted. Plus, that was benefiting them. Yeah, it was. What's wrong with them? I don't know. But we do have good news. And what's the good news? The Russians are out of the war. Wait, they are? Yeah. Wait, that's great. And we have even better news. Really? Yep. The Bulgarians are pushing the Entente forces out of our lands. Wait a minute. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Send the entire army into Italy and then into France, rush Paris before the Germans get there, and proclaim Austrian victory over the entire war, and completely forgetting that Germany did anything. Yeah! After Austria's glorious victory in the Great War, the new emperor started passing reforms to improve the country. These reforms included limiting the monarchy and allowing democracy in Austria. After over 100 years of decline, it is no longer us that are falling apart. Russia continues to lose land and the Entente nations entered a civil war. It felt like Austria would live at peace for many years to come. But just a year later, Hungary, not wanting to accept an imperial Austrian federation, declared war against us so that they could achieve independence. After Hungary's revolt was put down, we could finally relax in a war-free Austria. But 1 month later, Bosnia gave a shot at independence. We didn't put them down. And now, Austria is at peace. For a month. The West Ukrainians decided that they also want a chance against Austria. But now, finally, for real this time, Austria was at peace. For about 20 years, until the whole world formed a coalition against Austria and destroyed the empire that they fought so hard to create during World War I. Now that is a problem for the future. Right now, we admire what we have achieved. The end. Hey, for those of you who think this happened in real life, it did not. Real life Austria lost World War I. So don't go telling your history teacher what happened in this video. You won't pass your test if you do. Well, you will get the beginning correct, but after that, no. Also, please subscribe. This video took a while to make, so please subscribe. I also would not mind if you dropped a like, but I would mind if you dislike, because that's mean. That's not nice. Uncool. Okay, that's all. Adios. Ah!